All right, look here. There is no way possible I would have took a job that this character in this film took. And you know what? I'm just going to get into the review and break it all down for you right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today, we're reviewing the film Caveat, which is going to be dropping on Shudder as a Shudder original film June 3rd. Yeah, this character, Isaac, takes this job in this film that there is zero chance I would ever put myself in this predicament. There's not enough money in the world for me to have taken the job he did. But Isaac, so look, Isaac's struggling with money, but his landlord hits him with a proposition. Landlord's like, hey, if you want to make some money to pay your rent, which obviously has to pay him, see how that works? I need you to go watch my niece, Ogla, who's, not next door or around town, but she's on this, isolated island by herself. She suffers from schizophrenia, and this guy is no psychologist, no doctor, no mental health therapist, or any of that. So, like, hello, warning sign number one. Warning sign number two, she's on an isolated island that you have to take a boat in order to get over to. And then here is the icing on the cake. There's a huge stipulation to this. He has to wear a leather harness, which basically restricts his radius of where he can travel, which is just absolutely insane. Beyond that, Ogla's having all forms of, like, she's having really extreme she's having extreme cases, like really sporadic, to the point that, like, she's damaging the property that she's in, and it's just reoccurring so often that 9 times out of 10 this is going to happen to Isaac while he's there. Not to mention there's also this I'll put this. There's this supernatural, eerie cloud floating over the house, along with some backstory to it. So a lot is going on, and it pretty much is a game of cat and mouse, because he goes from babysitting her to her like, hey, who are you in my house, to her after him, and then this supernatural thing that's kind of just going over the whole house. It's a lot. And while this all sounds interesting, I was not overly entertained by this film. I was definitely bored at moments. Like, for the good, I was definitely spooked out. It was absolutely eerie, but I was definitely I lost interest at a point, because I felt like the film got too quiet at times, and then sometimes just too much dialogue. Like, for the supernatural eerie stuff that was happening and how it was shot, I thought it was good and entertaining, and definitely really piled onto the horror aspect of this. But for the other aspect, it was more like a mystery, and it was just way too much talking in this circumstance. And, like, I can even see how some folks who deal with claustrophobia probably wouldn't enjoy this film as well too, considering, like, what both Isaac and Ogla deals with. And again, they're still on this remote island by themselves, which is just, but at times I kind of find myself waiting for this film to be over. Like, it definitely was just dragging to me, and it was still a short film. And, like, there was the mystery aspect to it, but, like, even that was kind of a little bit all over the place. Like, I don't know, like, it just was weird. And then the ending was just super awkward. It just kind of just ended without any really form of resolution. It was more like an understanding, like a I see you, you see me type of thing, and that's that. But it definitely, it wasn't a hard film to follow as far as the developments that went on, but, like, it just wasn't interesting enough to really hold me in, to really confidently say that I enjoyed this film. The first part of this film and the premise I thought was interesting. I thought the performances were even pretty solid as well too, but the plot just did not really keep me invested. And even the cat and mouse aspect of it. I mean, you got two folks inside of a small house, and cat and mouse is pretty much hide and seek, and whoever catches who first is ultimately, and even that just wasn't, it just wasn't entertaining. it wasn't. It just really wasn't enough to get me over that mark to say like, man, I enjoyed this film. But you will be spooked out. You will definitely be looking over your shoulders at times in the beginning part of the film. But other than that, you probably be like, we're like, man, they're talking a very, very lot in this film. And also, there's a little bit of a like lack of psychology to things. Like if you're considering that there's like cat and mouse going on here, you should always be heightened about who may come for you and at what point. And at times, I felt like they got like kind of lax about the dangers that was happening and was kind of like, oh, okay, it's whatever. And that's again why I said like if I was Oz, I would have never been in this situation because this would have been one strike for me and I'm gone. So, you know, for the believable factor, not a chance at all. But, you know, check it out. It's on Shudder, premiering June 3rd. It's Caveat. Obviously, come back in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this film. But as always, until then, folks, stay tuned because we got more reviews coming very soon. Thank you for watching.